Hey everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase. I am joined today by the one and only Dead City Saint. It is also your freaking birthday, and honestly, I can't.
Yay.
Yeah, happy birthday, darling. Serious. So, what's super cool is that you chose to spend it with us. I'm so grateful and appreciative. I think it's amazing, and I feel hella blessed. So thank you for sharing your day with me, or whatever the kids are doing nowadays. What are they doing like that? There we go.
Whatever it is for us old people now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Shout out to Calico, because
Yes.
she agreed with me right away as soon as I mentioned wanting to do a birthday episode, and she's like, "Yes, we'll make it happen."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because we had you booked in, and I was like, okay. Like, yeah, sounds good. The regular Thursday, no big deal. And then I seen you make a post and you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this on my birthday. And I was like, wait. Now listen, I I obviously I'm out here, I love it, but I'm a very selfish person. Like I don't know if people know something. I'm very selfish. I'm very selfish about like my time. And not because I'm like, I deserve this for my I'm really selfish because I know I need to keep my cup full and I gotta keep, my glass so that I can like spill it into other people's glasses. We're out here doing big things all the time. So to be for Saturday, you know what I usually do on a Saturday? No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not
Bed,
kidding. Yeah.
bed.
No, hey, well, there's been moments, but usually on Saturday, it's the time that I like, that's my cup is full day. But when I thought about it, I was like, you are the type of person that absolutely does that. And I would be more than happy to do, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever that looks like. Like we're here for you for
Can I be
sure.
honest? I
Yeah.
I totally forgot that my birthday was on a Saturday this year,
What? Are you serious?
and somehow I was up at the crack of dawn, ready to go.
Yeah, you like
Oh, Richard. So we got a lovely story about this beautiful human in your chat
okay.
right now.
Okay, all right.
Um,
Hey, Richard.
you wanna talk about a tooth and nail friendship? On my 19th birthday, he
Oh,
ended up having to take my drunken ass, arm bar me over his shoulder, and flip me onto the pavement because some asshole made a comment, and I went into a what he called the Irish rage, and
okay.
somehow in the end he made a comment that turned it on him. And he's not a big man, so I had to give him props. And like our friendship has been, he's put up with a lot of my shit, and he's a good bro.
Listen,
One of the
it's those people though that have your back, right? Those people that are willing to like take one for you. So I don't know.
unwavering. He lived in my house and did my dishes for me for almost a month and a half because I had a fucked up foot and couldn't walk. He put up with my shitty attitude because I was in pain, and he took it with stride just to make sure I was okay.
Oh, you mean like a real friend, like a
He's my family. He's not my
yeah.
friend. His mom used to invite us over and have wine and watch Super Bowl with us. Like
Mm.
his family's deeply in my heart.
Oh man.
And it's
Yeah.
cool that he can be on the live today.
Well, listen, your comment section is like we hit the ground running today. I don't know where all these people came from, but obviously you cultivate one hell of a community because as I sit here, live and breathe, like I mean, we'd be here for a hot second. Everyone's in there, like
I
showing
posted
some
it
love.
on my actual Facebook. That could be it too. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to everybody that's joining us today. I really appreciate it. Like I was saying, Saturdays are one of those days that we kind of historically take for ourselves. And so anybody that is donating their time to come and hang out,
thank
mad,
you.
yeah, mad respect. Behind the scenes, Jason and I were just having a quick conversation about maybe some future projects or what that might look like. Today is actually our third episode, which is one more than
Yeah.
anybody else. Yeah. I was like, you got one more episode than Mama Shiri up in here. Like, what's happening around this place? We need to get you your own playlist on YouTube, I think. Like, what?
Woot woot. Landmarks.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we are having a quick conversation about what that would look like in future projects, and I think the topics that you brought up are a really great idea, and obviously keeping things positive and keeping them chill. You're so good at doing that, and I could probably learn how to
I've
do that
had lots
better.
I've had lots of angry years to sit and reflect and go, what kind of person do I want to become? But
Yeah.
but I'm here now, which is what counts.
Mm. But how does one deal with anger? Like, how do you find the happiness in life? Like, what gets you to the point where you're like, you know what, this is actually what we're gonna be about moving forward? Like, what makes you make that change?
For me, I hit my mid-30s and went back home for the first time in 10 years, and I saw the same people doing the same stupid shit that as when I left all those years ago, and
Mm.
it really made the light bulb go on in my head and go, wow, I really dodged a bullet because, like I said, I spent a lot of time homeless traveling and meeting people. I didn't think back then it would ever amount to anything, but look at me go now, right? It's the now that matters.
Yes. It's funny when people try and bring up like things from before, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's all true, I suppose. But what's happening today? Like, do you ever cross people that try and bring up some like old gangster stuff, and you're like, what? Like, even if that was true, why are we
You're
bringing
in
it
a
up now?
city that has a few people for me that like to try to claim a lot of dark shit that isn't true, and they do it out of spite.
What?
And I know
Well,
that, and I've had well, I'll be bluntly honest. We're
hmm
open here. I've had a
absolutely.
lot of people that were accusing me for a while of being a pedophile, but every time I asked for truth or paperwork, they
Jesus
seemingly
Christ.
lost it, or there was never paperwork. And I'm a very much truth-based person, and I
hmm
encouraged people. I was like, for the longest time, I was like, "Fuck, you give me valuable government paperwork stating this, that you have proof to this, I'll put the gun to my own head."
Yeah.
And to be able to say that, I was not exactly in my right mind, but I meant it. I was like, dude, I'm sick of hearing this shit. You're ruining my life because gullible people believe stupid shit without checking facts nowadays. And it got stupid. And it got to the point where I had to have nasty people, bless their soul, that spoke up and were like, you guys need to leave him alone. Seriously.
What do
Unless
you
you can provide proof, we're done. We're done watching Jay get trampled over.
Okay, so while we're on this topic, do you think that people use these kind of like emotionally irking words and situations to like get a rise out of it? Because we're in the world of Diddy, right? Like I can't turn on nothing. Like it's
I
wild,
will
right? Like
s- I will send you the meme, but I have an old Batman cover that was sent to me, and you'll probably get a kick out of it. It was a very much offensive humor. It's got me in trouble on Facebook a lot, but it's hilarious. So I made a meme the other day that had references to Diddy's situation, and I
mhm.
posted it in our record company, and the whole fucking company just started posting Diddy jokes for like the next half an hour. And I come back on
Damn,
chat and I start reading this chat, and I'm sitting there
man.
chuckling, going like, I know it's a hot topic right now, but what did I start? It was just a meme.
Yeah.
But that
But
is that right there is the power of an idea.
right, and the power of the bandwagon, right? Because everybody jumps on board and they're like, "Oh, we got an opinion about this,"
And
and
they
then
it goes back to our conversation about energy. Everybody adds their energy to that as they're jumping on the bandwagon.
and it just snowballs until it becomes the truth for some
Oh, we
people.
got Susan in chat. Man, it's good to see a lot of
Yeah,
family in chat. I'm glad I posted
yeah,
that on my actual Facebook.
Yeah, there's a lot of love out there. Like, I actually have to circle back real quick because I see Brandon was like, she be riding horses. Yes, literally every Saturday and Sunday. That's where I be. So you already know where I'm headed after this. But
I wish the family wouldn't have sold the farm because horseback riding was a big part of my childhood.
mm, it is the man. I mean, other than music, is the most therapeutic thing that I can think of. And I know that people are out there that are like scared of horses, and that's totally understandable. They're obviously big, massive, machines of just like love and sweat. So that can be overwhelming, right? Whether it's attached to a horse or not. But there's just you don't have to know how to ride them. You don't have to know how to work with them. You just have to be like, just sit on the fence line, like grab a book, sit near them. Like people are like, the horses smell, but I'm like, nah, man, you haven't been around them properly.
So
Like, nah, they're
no,
soothing. Are you up there? Are you
and it
reading the
was kind of
comments?
yeah, kind of cool being raised on the farm. When I explained what I felt blue collar was, people were like, "Holy shit!" So we got up at 6 o'clock every morning. We went and did farm chores for an hour. Then we sat down and had breakfast with our family, and then we went to school. Caught the bus into town to go to school. So like when I hear blue collar now, and I see all these country rappers and rappers, God bless the souls that are actually out there living the lifestyle, but there was a lot of them that rode the tailcoats as some things that just were doing it for the clout. There was no real lifestyle. It's like, have you ever slung 50-pound hay bales being the smallest kid in your fucking universe? Like, same here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
And like a lot of the times these hay bales hid me and people were like, wow, you power through that. And we'd go to school and we come back and it was house chores again. Go feed the animals, go make sure everything's put in place where it needs to be on the farm.
Mhm. Yeah. But you know what? Like sweat equals sweat equity, right? And whether at the time it felt like the thing to do, because obviously it can be frustrating, especially as a kid when you're like, I want to go and hang out with my friends, or I want to go do this or I want to do that. But once you kind of get into like a rhythm with like especially hay or stacking grain bags or whatever, you get into a rhythm with it. It is
Routine.
routine. Yeah, there's so much good that comes from that, right? And it builds the work ethic that you obviously like carry, throughout your life. And it prevents the fear of just like being, scared of work or getting hurt. I mean, once you've lived in that space, there's not much to be scared of. Hmm, beautiful. Yeah. But we don't live on a farm, and so we have to find other ways to like create that same thing. And that's why we have, these projects that we're talking about behind the scenes, like, these fundraisers and these kind of give back things. And I think that they do kind of the same thing, that like hard work feeling that you only get from really putting it in there is like, that's, I mean, as an adult, I'm like, where can I kind of put this energy, or where can I pull energy from? And that's kind of it kind of goes into it, right? Like, um, how else do you create that feeling? You can never mimic it, right? But you can create new situations. And it sounds like you're doing a really good job of that right now. With the project that you were talking about getting thrown around in June. I know.
I'm really proud of Brienne. She's come a long way. She used to be a heroin addict and she's now running a recovery station out in her hometown, and she's working with the street youth on a recovery basis, and that was her brainchild. I'm
Yeah.
just along for the ride, and I told her I'd support it any way I can to make it a reality, and hopefully she's able to network. She's working with the city and talks are being laid for an actual venue, or if we're going to do it outside.
Mhm.
Yeah, buddy, that is a dope song.
Okay, but
Tipsy is
who's
also a good country rap song. Sorry, I caught
no, it's
Brandon's comment.
okay. Yeah, no, it's all good. Like we never ever I never acknowledge the comment section, and it's not because I don't try. I can always see it. But I try and be like respectful to, the guest. We give the show to the guest to run the show. And so I try and like I text into the comment section. So I want everyone to know that I'm there and I see it and we answer back and I like love the love. But today is one of these great days to just like include everybody because one, it's your birthday and you can do whatever the hell you want. And two, because there is so much love out there and so much cool conversation happening that it makes sense to kind of bring them into it, right? Which song is this one though? Because like I must be real country. I'm like Wild Horses. Like which one by like Pam Tillis? Like what song are we talking about here? Do you know? You don't want them.
I'm not even
Brandon, get out of here. I wonder which one it is. Brandon, which song is it? Like who sings it? Are you like
There's a few different versions of that song too in existence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
The original. The Stones do a lot of good music. If I have to, I might have to switch back to my phone audio for a bit because my battery might be dying. It's at 53%. Yes, thank you. I knew there was a cover of that song in existence.
Okay, so tell me about this project. So it's from is the person, what was her name again that's putting it on?
Brienne.
And she's from your hometown?
Okay, actually, so she's followed me around a couple places in my journey, but yes, we met in my hometown.
Okay. And so you guys kind of like grew up together, and then your paths have crossed kind of along
She
the way.
dated my brother, and he passed away from a heroin addiction. And we drifted apart for a bit, and we just recently started talking again. At one point, she was a love interest, and girl has always had a heart of gold, but she wasn't ready for my explosive nature. And at that time, I was going through a lot of shit. So we just decided to stay really good friends in the end. And I'm proud of her from how far
Time out. Back this up. She was your brother's girlfriend, and then she was your love interest. Is that what you just
No, she was my love interest and my brother's.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa. Hold on. I need to know the details. This is juicy. Okay. And may he rest peacefully. I'm sorry to hear that.
But it made way for a really close friendship between her and I.
Yeah, absolutely. How could it not?
And to see her rise to the top from what she's had to deal with in life, that's hit me in the heartstrings. And it's like, wow, you messaged me, and she was like, I was wondering if you want to do this, and I was like, LOL, you knew I'd say yes. Come on now. You wouldn't have messaged me if you didn't.
I love it. Well, obviously.
Well, I'm really glad she's gone the lengths to get the city approval, because that's just even more of an event we can do. And I'm really hoping that this becomes a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like a lot of the events that are happening now actually stem from people who have had heartache or that have, overcome the throes of addiction. And it's amazing because it really does create a ton of awareness, right? You get these people who actually know how it feels, hands on, shoveled dirt onto their spouse, and turned around and went and got high, right? And now
I'm the youngest out of 10, and I've lost 5 of my brothers to addictions and alcoholism.
Yeah, you had me beat.
People always ask me why right before I take a shot. I'll say a blessing, and it's for my brothers who I've lost to alcohol.
Right.
And when I tell people that, they're like, "Oh,
you're taking shots at people that died of alcoholism." Is that what you just said?
The irony, right?
No, listen,
and that's what the blessing is for right before the shot, is to purge the thought, or to purge the shot of evil intent. So because I'm technically drinking their poison, I want to pay a blessing to respect that right to do so.
wag the dog, my friend. I actually don't mind what the reason is. I find it really interesting because we always focus on the way people died and not necessarily the way people live. Now, when we talk about alcoholism, obviously, you're talking about the negative part. We're not talking about like having a good time, celebrating, blah 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 blah. But people were when you struggle with alcoholism, right? There's before. Okay, I'm going to offend a lot of people, I'm sure, and I'm just going to take the leap here. Those people had good times on alcohol too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
yes, if that's how they passed away, I'm sorry. Yes, if you struggled with that, that's unfortunate. Obviously, I understand how that feels. I really do. But to say that their entire experience with alcohol in alcoholism was negative would be an absolute lie. You can't tell. I
Well,
mean,
and
I'm sure.
that's also part of the blessing too, is to also pay homage to the fact that, you know, exactly what you just said.
Mhm,
There's there's a point where that was fun. Like, I still have great moments that were fueled by alcohol as an adult, still to this day.
mhm.
It's not all bad, and you got to celebrate the good and remember the good when a person is no longer there. It keeps the memory.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
And I mean,
like,
I'm not.
there's a few different reasons, and people always found it weird until I explain it. Then they're like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Well, I mean, you're not gonna, it would be like in the same way that taking their ashes to an AA meeting would be like I'm not saying that it's appropriate or it's not appropriate. It's not really anybody's business how you choose to celebrate somebody's life. But everybody that chooses to focus on the negative all the time and focus on how they passed away is completely eradicating that person's goodness and anything that ever happened. It's like when somebody loses their life to suicide and then all of a sudden we don't acknowledge the 35 years they were alive and did really, really cool stuff, right? We're like, "Mm, well, it's like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, but it is a portion of their life. Unfortunately, it is part of their story, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But it is by no
Mhm.
means their entire existence. They weren't that up until they did that thing. So, you know, the same
And
reason why
and
we
and
shouldn't hate on people for the choices
yeah,
that they made. Like we're gonna sit here and be like, you were an angry person once upon a time. Well, you're not now. You're a happy person, or what? Maybe you're a happy person today. Like, it, I, it's just an opinion, but you know, I don't know why people
it's
get all
valid.
like, yeah, I don't know why people get all bajiggity about stuff like that. So you take the shot, you pay homage to your homies. Um, Isn't that weird? Because if I poured out a little liquor for my friends, I would have an empty bottle.
I don't know. My first shot of beer always goes on the ground to the fallen.
Well, we used to pour out like an OE or whatever, but like at this point now in
Whew,
my
I
life,
don't know if I don't know if my that in my belly. Thank you.
okay, and that's the other part. Like that's what I mean. If I started pouring out for, I mean, respects, but we used to pour out like a whole drink, right? I'm like, we would literally be here all day. Like that's how many people we're looking at. I don't remember having my parents talk about these experiences when they were my age. They weren't when somebody passed away, it was wild. Like everybody knew about it. The community was like, "Holy crap,
Oh,
what's
for
going
fuck's
on?"
sakes, hold on.
Yeah, man.
I got cut out again.
Well, you're here now. Like I can see you and hear you actually. So, yeah, Brandon, you're not wrong. Yeah, look at everyone as a human. I was naive and would see addiction, but my love for them was, yeah. That's a really intimate statement, and I mean, we talk about stigma all the time, right? Like, it's really hard to see past it sometimes, but the reality is like those people were people, right? And I mean, obviously,
Be right back.
sometimes their addictions is yeah, yeah, honey, do your thing. Um, Yeah, damn technical issues. Um, but I think that's why we kind of lose sight of like what the solutions are when it comes to addiction. Are you gonna jump in with me? Yeah, buddy. I think that's why we lose sight of it sometimes, because you see something and you see everything else, but not necessarily like what needs to happen. I know you do. How do you guys deal with stigma? Like, is there things that you've like tools you've come across in your life where you're like, listen, this is how I felt about this one way, but now I've had this experience and I changed my way of thinking, and like we can maybe take advantage of that a little bit to change some of these things that happen, because my goodness, like, you get people that have thought the same way for so long, and it's hard to change the way we feel about some of this. I didn't understand um why people were so butthurt about the whole naloxone situation. I was like, what? Like, I mean, sure, I guess. Like, why does it matter? The same way as any other medicine. And people were like really wigging out about it and upset that like this, because it was free, because it was more accessible, because and yeah, I just found it really strange that it was even a topic. Hi, Des.
What's up? What's up?
What's good?
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I was lucky
Hmm.
because growing up, I really I didn't think homelessness and things like that.
Hmm.
My mom is a doctor. Mind you, when I was born, she was in college. She's a pediatrician.
Right,
When
right,
I was
right.
born, she was in college in Chicago
Yeah.
to become that.
Mhm.
She did that. She made a really big effort to make sure I never saw certain things.
Yeah.
You know, even within my family. But, like, my uncles were alcoholics.
Yeah.
And I never, which this completely contradicts, right, what I said earlier. I still have not gotten drunk in my life
Ah,
because of seeing them drunk.
right.
I'll drink a beer. Will I get drunk? No. And me drinking a beer is like once every 8 months and non existent since I had seizures.
Okay.
Would I have called them an addict? No. I just felt like drinking was stupid.
Right, 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 right.
The first time I ever saw a homeless person, I woke them up from sleeping on the bench and had them come to my house and sleep at my house.
Are you
What's up,
serious?
buddy?
Yes. What up, Jason? Happy birthday, Jason. And this was when I was
Well,
like,
that
I was old enough to go to the bars. So I had never even seen a homeless person in my hometown
Yeah.
until I was 21.
So you're telling me that you've seen one and you were like, let me come and like interject myself into your life and try and solve some of your problems. Is it because you looked at them like they were sick? Or because you were like, whatever's happening with them, they really need somebody? Like, walk me through this a little bit.
I had never seen anybody sleeping outside.
Right,
And
right.
it was in my mind I was hopeful that maybe they would find a place to
Yeah.
sleep in the future, and at least that night they didn't. It's funny
Mm.
because the college kids are walking by and I'm trying to wake them up, and I'm like, yo, do y'all even see them sleeping on the bench? Do y'all care?
Damn. Right? Because they don't. They just go straight to
Yeah,
work,
they were
straight to
mad at
class,
me.
straight to
I'm mad at
lunchtime.
them.
Yep, yep,
I had
yep.
never seen it before though.
Right.
Being in Atlanta, you see it every you. I tried to. I was like, if I gave each of them $1,
Mhm.
how much money would I spend? I would probably spend $100 a day giving each of them $1.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But if you spin that around and like lobby some people, like I was looking at this video the other day and they were like, man, we had a GoFundMe for this guy. He was homeless. We got him $43,000. And I was like, damn, wait a second. This dude's got 1 million followers. Like, I mean, that's 10 cents a person. So like, you know what I mean? If you flip the script a little bit and not rely on like one person to do all of that work, we could actually make some movement in some of
They
this
ain't gonna do all that though.
I know.
And
I know. It's
that's
true.
but yeah, I mean, I dated people in super active addiction, just naive, because I had friends who were homeless. I didn't know they were homeless when they would come over and hang out, because I wasn't judging people like that. Did I have a good time when I was around you? Did you make me feel funny? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Jason was back for a second.
I don't know where he went. Yeah, he popped back on and then popped right back off
And we could
again.
hear him and see him and everything.
Yeah,
and then he left. And I even acknowledged him. I think we both acknowledged him.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm going to shoot him a quick message and be like, what's good? Like, where are you at? I don't know what happened there. He did say that one of his thing was dying, but it was at like 50%. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why he left initially, but then he came back and it looked like he came back on his laptop.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. You there, homie? Yeah. Hey. Long time no see, big guy. Where'd you go?
The ETs are messing with my shit today.
Oh no. They ain't playing with you, hey? They're like, nah, you don't need all of this.
But
this attention is too much.
Yeah, you can't be that real. They're like, we're gonna cut you right off. Well, we should have mentioned Diddy, maybe. You shouldn't either. Wait a second. Hold on. What can you tell me what happened with all of that? Because like as a beautiful content creator, like I'm having a time over here trying to put my stuff up. Like Deglo abortion, all of my reels with him got pulled. Facebook was like, we ain't having it, because it was like, I don't know, he predicted a bunch of crazy stuff. And then I seen your thing the other day get pulled and I was like, is it because it's election season, or like, why is this happening?
And it's an old post that everybody had seen, and it's definitely not doing any of the things listed. It's me in front of a fireplace. But Jason,
what's good?
It's your birthday and everything. You said that you take shots. Do you still get drunk?
No.
But
you smoke weed?
Of course.
Absolutely. No. Okay. But
I'm in Canada, bro. We smoke trees like it's going out of fashion here.
Well, I'm just like, I guess because I feel like you're in an interesting spot where it seems like you're still in the process of recovery. But you also want to help as many people as possible at this stage that you're at with everything going on.
Because I never had the help when I needed it. Yes.
Do you think that a lot of people will be like, well, if you're not fully this or that, you shouldn't have a say. I've always felt like people going through it sometimes have the best insight
to it.
So interesting.
It ties into something I used to say about social work. And that's, in order for a social worker to know what a teen needs help with, they should have grown up in that turmoil themselves to experience it. Right. Experience is the best teacher.
A textbook's only going to take you so far. The same way, though, like there is actually massive, statistics and talk about when people are in recovery during their recovery journey, they actually have a higher chance of success when they're helping others. And it's why sponsors are more successful. It's not I mean, they're putting it, what do you obviously have an opinion. Like, you don't believe that?
Well, that pressure either does well for them or cracks them. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's ways to avoid that pressure by just being honest about where you are to begin with. Not, this isn't you in particular, just with those kind of things. A lot of times people will put pressure on themselves and pretend that they're perfect and not
unrealistic expectations of themselves.
Well, and that's a societal problem, right? And
yeah.
Yo, this is so funny with everything that you have, that you were bringing up, and this brings it all full circle, right? Can I get some of the ranch with this?
Damn, guys, you just roll up on here with your snacks and shit. What are you eating over there, bro?
Pizza bites.
Yeah.
You know, but so like, I think what makes people so shocked about the Diddy thing is how he tried to portray himself,
right,
in the public. But also think about how Suge Knight was treated for being himself out in the open. And he was in prison quicker.
Yep.
For doing less.
Yep.
Less. Yep. For doing less. For being a G.
Yep.
And so, you know, the smoke and mirrors of it, I would aspire for a more honest society.
And it's more interesting, right? Like the other day I was hanging out, I did a live stream from the truck. That was my first mistake. I'm in the back of an 18-wheeler cruising down the highway. I mean, do the math. Wasn't the best. The angles were crazy, the lighting was crazy, all this stuff. I'm sweating because it's like so uncomfortable. Like so uncomfortable. And the response that I got was like, yeah, well, you're human, man. Like, you're human. Like, it's all good. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, right.
But that's not expected.
I have a saying in life:
and it's
to learn to be
false idols and all kinds of stuff. Go with your saying real quick.
I have a saying in life: to learn to be comfortable not being comfortable.
Well, that stress, like that
because
stress
in your discomfort, you're gonna learn to be the best you. If you choose to acknowledge it.
It's not even whether you choose to acknowledge it, right? Like that stress is like an old instinct to like get moving from whatever it is that you're doing. So like whether you sit there or you move, like that, there's nothing negative about being in a negative position and feeling that stress. Like, yeah, the feeling you're uncomfortable, but it pushes you to get out of that, whatever it is, right? Like it is a flight or fright response. It's to protect you.
And so, okay. Yeah. Well, which I think it's dope that Jason is doing what he's doing and that he is getting allowed. It's funny because it reminds me of Soft White Underbelly.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for with way purer intentions to it. But so, because what you're talking about, and I've been there, Jason, you know, it's survival mode. Like, but
well, and to be real, I've lived.
The next phase for you, I think, is getting comfortable being comfortable and learning how to accept all the fruits that the world has for you. Because I'm one to reject it. Milk told me the other day, and it blew my mind because I was talking about rules and how fuck them. I'm gonna upload this when I want. And he said, "Daz, you're not playing to win."
No, no. Yeah, he wasn't joking, hey?
You know,
You gotta
and
jump
like,
inside the box sometimes.
and that's, look, and that saying is so true. And I've been such a rejecter my whole life. Like, you know, the ultimate day is when you play to win. You know, and you have people rooting for you, and you deserve so much acclaim for coming from where you've been to deciding to do something like this. It's so funny. My birthdays, I want to have dropped the album. I want to have had a concert. And
Oh,
people be like,
speaking of that,
and people are like, you're not getting fucked up. And they're mad at
Right.
me. And I'm like, I want to do something productive on that day every day to show growth.
Mhm.
2 points here. One of which I get to drop Witch's Brew the day before Halloween. It's my first ever non-remixed album, solely produced by Beatpad. It's a dubstep album.
Congratulations.
Second, we were talking about it the other day, or yesterday actually, Daz. Freaking how what was it now? I lost it.
We was talking
Freaking
about it the other day.
it was something relevant to what you just said.
About being productive?
Again, yeah, communication was a big part of that, but not being afraid. The thing for me was I used to be, as my grandma would say, the world's most social, antisocial person. I hated talking to people. So, like you said, I needed to commit. I needed to grab the bull by the motherfucking horns and ride that bitch for all it's worth, like there's no tomorrow. And that's where I'm at now. I'm finally riding the bull by the horns, and it's like, dude, what was I ever scared of? I need to commit now, though, fully commit to the principle and the idea of what I'm putting forward.
Right.
And sometimes as an artist,
Woo!
and a person in community, that is hard to
those-
balance that
well,
some days.
no,
Yeah.
well, guess what? I used to live in this illusion that as long as I jammed, I was good.
Right.
But you're a
Oh,
healthy.
I remembered what
But
it is, Des.
everything.
We were talking about how therapeutic Kalicia's show is in the retrospect of putting out all your darkest desires and putting them on the table and actually talking about them in a productive manner. That's
Shoot.
where I'm at. I remembered.
Y'all were talking about that?
Look, Kalisha.
We're talking in
too. No,
right before we had a good laugh because I asked him who Jeffy was.
Oh, no. Yo, okay.
Shout out
No.
to Jeffy.
Hold
Yeah,
that,
buddy.
Kalisha. I gotta tell you about that later. But
That was
it
funny.
was fucking hilarious.
Jeffy has us all fucked up though because he has the same profile picture as you. Listen, that guy goes hard. He goes hard for you, right? And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why do I have all these doubles and stuff? Like, what's happening in my, you know?
Well,
then, like,
the album came out.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Lunatics
by the way.
Manifesto. It's not
Yeah,
about
yeah.
me. It's about y'all.
Yeah.
Even
buddy.
when I read your comment, I was about when you said that shit about taking the shot for your dead homie.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the fuck kind of bullshit am I? And then I was like, wait, my album's called Lunatics Manifesto, and like,
For real.
that is the heartbeat. That's the type of shit that we're talking about here. And even the album's dedicated to my friend who passed due to addiction and things like that, you know. And I vividly remember sitting on his back porch like a week before he passed and telling him, like, and it's funny because once again, I'm a guy, when you're with me, you're straight, we're cooking, we're making product, you're fine. But like, I was like, you got to slow down how you live outside of this. It's like, oh, I'm good. He was gone a week later.
Yeah.
I would have pressed harder. But I'm like, if my friend says that to me, why would my friend lie to me?
You took faith in him.
Yeah. You know, we really do believe those moments though, right? We're like, okay, we got this, everything is fine. Like some of the most like sure I've ever been were in some of the darkest moments of my life. And I'm like, I know, you know. Meanwhile, like I'm sitting 2 seconds away from like never being a human again. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a couple of shovels away from being actual manure. Like, what are you
Yo,
talking about? Like,
yo. And this
like
is so wild, right?
2 feet on the ground, being like, I know what's good. People are like,
The
nah.
first song is called Welcome to the Dark Side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second is called Lunatic's Manifesto.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like where you hit that point, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the most brazen, confident, positive. It's supposed to be beating you over the head with positivity. If you know, it's either gonna empower you
Yeah.
or leave you no other choice. And because that dark moment, that's what it does to you. You know? And like, what does it take? It's gonna bring the crazy out you. Which crazy are you gonna let win that battle?
Come out.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Gaelic story of two wolves. Are you gonna feed the evil or are you gonna feed the light?
Jason, where the fuck this nigga Jason?
I grew up with a very, 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 very. I'll call her the wise old grandma.
The Rolodex is
She
thick, man. Like the Rolodex is thick. It's like
It's really the swag, not the sayings. That's you know, it's the like, it's the way it connects in his brain for me. You know, it's all about swag. Everything's been said before.
yeah.
How do you wear it? That's all that matters.
Well, forward, clearly, you know.
But I want ranch.
But to answer Daz's question, for me, I grew up with a very open spiritual grandma who loved to teach everything she could.
Yeah.
Her goal in the time we'd asked her, and her goal in her time before she passed away was to teach everything she knew about the spiritual world she grew up in.
Did you choose to be home? Did you have options of a home to stay in when you were homeless, or did you choose to be?
After a while, it became a choice because I wanted to learn about the darker side of life, because I realized that my socialite parents
I
had
hear this all
taught
the
me a
time.
very they taught me a very jaded view of life, and I knew there was something more than what I was being taught by these rich assholes.
It's fun. I hear this all the time. People that like had a day, ended up there, and then just stayed. They're like, listen, the stories, the camaraderie, the community. I'm like, yeah,
My
but
I was
brother was
free.
homeless.
I was
the
My older
freedom.
brother was homeless for 2 years. I begged
Yeah.
him to come sleep on my couch.
Yeah,
legit
yeah,
to
yeah.
me. Being
He had a
homeless
lot of
was the
open
rawest
doors.
sense of being homeless was the rawest sense of freedom I've ever seen in the form of the word. I had the freedom to do what I want, go where I want, experience what I want because I wanted to. There's no other freedom like that in a society.
There is, but you don't think that like having your like for me, that feeling
I'm gonna
comes
have
from
to.
like the consistency of being in my bed, waking up to what I know. Like I hate no one likes paying $800 for fucking groceries. But let me tell you the freedom I have when I go upstairs and I'm like, oh, you know, look at Dad sitting up here eating his demanding rent.
See, there. He's
I
just,
couldn't make
and
it.
that's all part of it. That's
freedom, right? Like
that that's all part of it. We don't know it's a freedom until we don't have it anymore.
Well,
We are stubborn little
I think there's
creatures.
multiple. Like, okay. One thing that's always screwed me over, right, was trying to skip the middleman, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a process, and everything has rich fruits once you complete the process. If we full, if us as human beings, just like, you know, Brother Rick on my new song, he says, if we submitted to God, then the world would be ours. Tony Montana. And like, the thing about that is there's certain fruits that discipline, patience, and certain freedoms that those things give you. Even the freedom to throw freak offs, like
I
that's
actually gave a
For
shout out
real though.
you
Like,
get, you
for
know
your
what I'm
strength.
saying? And
For
so
your
like,
strength in that video. For your strength in that video, I gave hard shout out our one or our second episode to like your resilience to want to get mad. You could see you wanted to get mad, and the fact that you didn't, I was like, dang, I'm a Celt. That would not work for me. I'd be knocking out this
that's
yappy
not true.
mother. And there's the
that
That
you're
ain't
way
true
too
though.
chill for
No,
the
that's not.
bullshit.
I
You're,
100%. I'm with
I
Rick on this.
grew
I
up
call
on the
bullshit.
streets. I'm only chill now because I experienced my bullshit when I was a kid.
I honestly, okay, but if you didn't have a button to push, right? Like instead of being like, I'm mad because that person came out. I don't. If you don't have the button in the first place, then people can't be out here fucking
Push
you up
it.
anyway. Right? Right?
And that's what I learned the last year being rooted in the entertainment industry through different idiots that I've dealt with is that the reaction is everything.
well,
It
let's
all comes
talk.
down to
Yo,
it all comes
let's
down to
talk
the
about
reaction.
addiction there. Because, like, even my life, right? Like, okay, so I've had a brother who's been by choice
Yep.
homeless for years. Like, also, obviously, he had financial, whatever, mental hardship, all that shit, addiction, woo, all that in there too, right? With the pinch of choice, right?
Yep.
I also have a millionaire brother,
Right.
you know, who has been on Jimmy fucking Fallon, for God's sake. I just bought a CD that he's got songs of fucking Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I just bought a CD from the store that had my brother on it. So like, do you know what people do when he has an addiction? Have an addiction too. Oh shit!
Well, see, and I'm gonna say,
now.
Yes.
Look, if I flame up a blunt, ain't nobody smoking with me. If I were him, everybody in the family gonna be stoners in less than 3 months.
Okay.
well
Why
said.
is this a thing though? Why is this a thing? This is the same thing. Okay, if a priest has this big ass church and all these nice cars lined up, we're in there listening to what he says. If a preacher's on the side of the corner looking like a homeless dude speaking the good word, we're like, but he's lost his mind.
He's insane. Right,
He's
right,
crazy.
right. And so, and like, yeah, my brother picks up a drink. It's a 3-day party. Let's do anything to make it make sense.
Yeah.
To the point where he literally, now that boy's a genius, right? And his self-awareness is his celebrity and star, not a fucking song. We need to quit pretending that songs and shit are it. He's like, I have a problem that I'm going to handle myself, and chooses to not drink. But how many people are that smart? When everybody picks up a cup every time you come in a room and do that. And so, like, how do we get as a society?
That's why I'm loved around my house, is because I do
the
say
way
no
that
so
we're
much.
thinking.
Yeah.
And to give that kind of flavor, you know what I'm saying? And to cut the shit. And mind you, the things that I'm talking about, they sound really dramatic, right?
They're not though, because it's
They're
like
subtle. You won't even pick up on the shit.
It's so true. It's so true. It's the licking of the spoon. The one that always catches me is like if someone licks the spoon or eats off a spoon, right? And then goes to like stir the pot again, literally, like cooking whatever. No one says nothing if they don't say nothing. The minute that they put the
Yeah.
spoon down, pick up a clean one, and then use the, we're all like, well, why? Well, you nasty? Like, why are you nasty? Like, no one would have even thought that had you just licked and gone about your business, checking your, your sauce. It's like, you know what I mean? Because it's that little. People don't. I'm like working up a sweat over here because
That's an energy drink.
Not mine.
Yes, it is.
Would
We
you
want to
drink
talk about garbage people put in their bodies for no reason. This
No,
is my
bro.
one.
I was just making sure it wasn't a fucking Bud.
I mean, if I had liquor to drink, that would definitely be a thing right now. Not gonna lie.
I mean, a Bud Light wouldn't be that bad, but just
Right.
for the context of the conversation at this point.
Some more irony? What?
No, but Jill, but does this? It comes up all the time, right? Because I mean, people like, y'all play.
Is that where you want? Where do you want to be? Dead City. Where do you want to be at your birthday 3 years from now? Like, and even Kalisha,
I want to be on a stage.
What do you want to do for his? What do you want to see for him and working with him?
Yeah, my goal.
Actually, I want to hear. I want to hear what she has to say first on that one. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Well, my goal is to get him a proper setup so that way when we start talking, he realizes he can chime in at the same time without it cutting everything off. Because I feel like it probably feels like we're talking over you sometimes, but once we get you sorted out, it won't feel like that anymore. So that's one. Two, my goal is to like, because of where you're at, Dead, what a great success story, and or not. Like, allow us to support you through this and have you support us through this journey together, right? Like, if you can come through and we can offer you these spaces to go and DJ, offer you these spaces to talk publicly, I think that those are the moments, because not all of us can be as transparent as Dead can. You know what I mean? And it's
as Dead City is willing to be either in his journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that's an endless wormhole.
I think it's a conversation to go because you got to earn these things to a certain,
that's saying? It. On that note, if I'm not earning my place,
think Dead City
I
has
feel
the potential for anything he desires. It's setting those bench markers to get there and keep, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Keep the flow going.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Well, bro, that almost brought a tear to my eye. Out of everything I did, to see the fruits of the labor finally coming back and other people's sharing their opinions and bands messaging me daily, it's making my light bulb light even faster.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times we take moments for granted. And I don't want you to take the help in time. Kalisha got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she wants that said, but
and that's not even it, right? We got kids. We got basketball games and shit. We got things that happen every day.
No, I mean,
I got
at the end of the day,
canon
you
right
got
now.
a future to raise.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
We got babies out here.
And I think one thing that goes underestimated in this world is respecting everybody's time to grow in and our capabilities, if we do that, are endless, because our resources and similarities, if we let them be, are endless.
Yep.
So
fuck yeah. Marley said it best. One love. You are nothing without the team
don't
behind
even bring
you.
Don't bring Marley into this right now. I just went to the Marley Brothers concert 2 days ago.
Yo.
And it was
How
their
was it?
legacy tour
Oh.
covering their father's freaking songs
Yeah.
and their respect and love for him, each other, them being royalty, like
Absolutely.
come
Absolutely.
on.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, they were in van. Like I seen the thing go up and I was like, oh my God, they're like 4 minutes too far for me, like to get there that quick, you know? Yeah. So Bob Marley's birthday bash is like the video that we play, or not me, my grandpa plays every time there's like a family thing. And I don't know if anybody else has caught on to it yet, that we'd be listening to the same like 2 hours of music every single time we're together. But I caught on to it like, when I was like 14 or something. And I was like, damn, right? Because it's all his songs, but it's all, it's his sons and Lauren and Peter Tosh and everybody out there doing it. So you don't really kind of notice unless you're noticing. But what a flippin' catalog of music that is, man.
The cat. Like, we're talking politics. We're talking. Look, everybody nowadays be talking about real nigga shit and don't be walking real nigga shit. Like,
true story.
Walk the walk you talk. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Bring that
again another
Tupac energy back without the death.
Without the I mean, or leave that part in, but leave like the
We've seriously been sitting here for an hour already? Wow. This is not a joint, it's a cigarette.
Do whatever you need to do.
It was a joint.
Do what you need to do, man.
Look, weed has such a bad rep.
Yeah.
What nigga been like, bro, I was so high I chopped up 3 people. Nobody.
I chopped up the meat in my fridge, bro. But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I just like alcohol literally makes people lose control.
I still watch the old 80s Reefer Madness propaganda and I sit back and laugh at how dumb that was.
I'm about to flame up right now for
there
your
you
birthday.
go.
But let me know.
I got a shatter vape that was given to me by my roommate as a birthday gift last night. So
how's the chat doing? What's the chat talking about?
Shoot.
They probably hate me.
Why?
No.
Daz, I fucking love you. Doesn't matter if they hate you. It's not important. No, I'm kidding.
No,
my
really,
chat,
no.
my chat is full of family, friends, and supporters today, and I love you all.
You can, well, obviously, there's people, who support both of us in there. I've seen them. Shout out Bradley, Elisa, and plenty others. I can't even think of them.
Yeah.
And all the regulars.
But
dude, it's so cool to see my third app in the chat booming. That's awesome.
He said he's keeping the chat booming.
Yeah. Oh, I love this so much.
Love to all the chat goers staying strong. Power to the people.
What's your plan for the rest of the day, Dad? Like, what do you got planned for the rest of the day? What are you up to, bro?
I am going to a Magic the Gathering card draft after this with the bros, and we're gonna play some Magic the Gathering tonight.
Oh shoot!
Oh, did I mention I'm a devoted nerd?
That's cool.
Don't make me bust out my Pokemon cards. I need a writer.
I'm sad because the league out here for Pokemon is really devoted to the younger generation.
What do you mean?
I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh deck from when I was a child.
That don't got nothing to do with what you just said.
And
but we'll
bro,
take it.
I'd expect you to be I'd expect Daz to be a nerd wearing a Mario hat every freaking episode of Let's Live TV. Well, and for those that don't know, check out his show, Daz's show. That's Live TV.
Well, we
dope.
used to do game night. Jason, you weren't even around when we did game night. But
I can't even.
I only wear the hat. When we interviewed Mega Ran, because he's a nerd too, damn it.
Right.
I could tell.
Yeah, Nerd
And a very
Society.
gifted artist.
Oh yeah, bro. He look.
Daz ain't hanging about. Well, I guess you got some friends that aren't, but everybody comes through with some really interesting stuff. Like I don't see,
They have to. I mean, well, I try to make it, and well, everybody is talented. Everybody, like whether you're cooking, whether it's like the way you fold napkins, like we all are talented
beautiful human beings. Yeah.
and serve a purpose.
Absolutely.
Like there's a big misconception: if you do this, you have worth. If you do this, you don't. No, because somebody got it. Somebody, look, I'm not doing it. Somebody got to do it, and somebody got to love it. We need a more passionate world.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't even announced my favorite part of today, and that's I've got 2 books devoted to hip hop lyrics, and I am also launching a Dead City hip hop franchise that I'm going to be dropping, and I'm just waiting for the beats and the music projects and finding again those who would respect the art and be willing to put in the time and dedicate the actual work to creating something.
Damn. What does that look
The
like
first-
then? Like, where can people sign up for all of that? Where you gotta go?
Talk to me.
On the CMC page?
My fucking DMs. There's a start. For any artists that
You
be
know,
interested, just hit me up.
Kalisha be like, what kind of professional filter
I got
communicate through this one email. Calico be like, this is the email for this. Don't send it anywhere.
Oh, my DM, I'm expecting some questions. Okay, for real.
It's like it's
For real,
2024,
and
man.
shout out to Calico for being a boss behind the scenes worker. You guys work like mad people.
Shout out
from the video reels.
Shout out to Kalisha.
From the video reels to her management skills to just shouting out to the artists that you do, connecting on that basis. Huge shout out to you,
Calico, in the comment section.
Yeah,
Always dropping the fire.
And shout out to DJ Lion. Her son's amazingly gifted. I gotta give that shout out too.
Yeah, shout out
because wow, 10 years old and he can mix better than most professionals I know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Facts.
Facts.
Well, wait. Since we're talking about myths that need to get out the window.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Kids learn, listen,
sponges,
and do shit better than grown folks all the time. They will beast you at something and not even acknowledge it.
Yeah, but
because they're so busy
man.
trying to impress us, and we abuse that out of kids so much. Like shout out my hype man Kai Burdett. I've had a ton of hype men. That boy 14.
Yes.
Works harder, focused. His stage work, like, come on, get out of here. And, like,
you should be a professional.
He is a professional. That's what's good though. Like these man, there is no line between being 18 and being professional anymore. Like we got kids up in this house right now. I
like that.
Like, listen, he's like, how do I get this? What constitute like a big truck? How do I get this license? When do I talk to WCB to get this off the ground? I'm like, yo, you're 14, man. Like, what's your hobby?
Breathe.
Bro?
No aspirations.
But he's already been out in the field all day with these grown ass dudes, man. Like all night, all day till the job's done.
Yo, like, he's on a traveling basketball team, going to school. The summer just hit.
Nice,
bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Yeah, man. You just keep the laundry
to do
going.
That.
Like,
and while I'm hearing nothing but crap from every freaking body who's supposed to be ready to rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disappear for a minute. I gotta go grab my lyric book, but I gotta at least share some lyrics because I want opinions and I can't do that. So
I might not be here when you get back. I guess I'll stay to hear one lyric.
Yeah.
I'm not staying. No, I'm not.
Shoot.
So I already got this shit.
All right, let's hear it.
What is today? Saturday?
Yes, sir. The fact that you're even here, thank you for joining us, man. On my birthday,
Yeah.
no doubt.
It's why he's here, bro.
Okay,
I'm
this one's
curious
called
to hear
Shackles
this.
and this one's called Shackles and Chains.
Oh shit!
That's good.
Damn, and you ain't never even been a slave for surely. Let's go. Let's hear this.
Well, society is its own brand of slavery.
Go on.
All right.
Minimum wage shouldn't exist. Let's not go there. That's another time.
To
I
getting
thought
paid.
that was the lyric. I was like, damn.
Well, it's funny because stores want
Like,
paid automatically.
write that down.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's
All right.
got it written. Stores want paid automatically, but then we get paid every 2 weeks for the work we do. But go on.
Go on.
Just a woven thought tastes like freedom on the tongue. To thine own self be true. A mask we doth wear to hide our own truth. A symphony of sweet and bold, exquisitely delicious. A story yet untold. These shackles they confine me, a cage of fear and doubt. But this rebellion is rising. There's no room for churning out. This is pure linguistics. That's what this is. Words that pierce the veil. This is anarchy in motion, a storm that will prevail. No more silence, no more chains. We will break away. As society falls apart, we will break the chains of control. This is a revolution. Let the fire take its toll. The system built on lies, a web of greed and might. We're weaving our own truth, a beacon burning bright. This whispers turn to roars, a chorus loud and strong. We will tear down the walls of power and stand where we belong. That's the first verse. We're the voices of the voiceless that fire in the night. We'll rewrite the rules of power to claim our rightful light. No longer slaves of dogma, no longer bound by fear. This is the dawn of freedom and a new era drawing near. A truant to our government, I'm screaming McFuck 'em and I'm loving it. The shackles my restraint. They may restrain us, but they will never break us. They hold our souls. We rise above the ashes to attain our rightful goal. This is the taste of freedom, revolution in our hearts. The chains will break forever as our freedom takes its start.
Yeah.
I gotta say, there's two things.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta practice on that one. my
Why?
my delivery was off.
Oh, I do this Wednesday I'm gonna be on this thing where people come on and do a cappella verses.
That's
You,
great.
and you didn't do that bad. Like your
No.
cadence was on point. Like
Yeah.
you were landing you shouldn't went in the middle of it on the second verse at the beginning of the second verse, but the
Yeah,
first one you did pretty flawlessly for like speaking it, and it still felt
I,
rapish, like, so it was a good spot. I the thing um I I I hope that society can change. I work towards it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it always feels freeing before I speak. But the
one
second
of
I
the
say
other songs.
something, the second I say something, I feel like um it comes back to bite us in the butt. We're highly
Okay,
oppressed. I like that you spoke on, but like, and it's interesting because like, yeah, we want these things, and you bring up the lies, like in the way, but in like the lies are on purpose. Like the flaws in the system are made there on purpose. You know,
yeah, they're put there as a means of control and power, most definitely.
but it, you know,
But my question though is like, at what point do we like turn a blind eye to some of this and just like go on living? Like, I understand obviously when you make $10 an hour and you can't pay your bills and you can't speak the truth because everybody's pulling your shit off face, whatever. I get all that. But at like what point do we stop do we stop using that as the mantra and start using like today is totally happening, today is mine, today is a good day? Like when do we start doing that part of it? You know what I mean? Like aside from the cut was good, you know what I mean? You can do a ton with it. But like it feels like if we keep that mindset all the time, like we're shackled and we're chained. And there's a lot of podcasts that I've done before where people are coming through and they hit me with some like crazy Illuminati stuff and it all comes true. And I'm like, okay, maybe you're right. You know, clearly you knew what you're talking about. But for ourselves, when do we start putting down the good pieces
and stop taking on the burdens of the world and
concerning
worry
ourselves
about what's on our shoulder?
Yes,
like,
man.
because what can like, I don't know, because like, and look, all the power in the world to you, but like even I don't know, like it starts with us.
Yeah.
But and there was hopefulness in there, like, because you're like, we're gonna say this, da 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 da. I don't. That's a place of hope, but I guess it's still like something's wrong. When are you like, like that's even what we were talking about earlier in the process of like trusting the process, because a lot of the fuck you attitude is from trust issues.
My favorite pop culture reference that comes to mind about trust is the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! When Yugi's grandpa tells him you have to trust in the cards for it to work.
But if the only cards the metaphor there are all heavy, like at what point do you put those cards back? You know what I mean? And you're like, fuck them cards. Like I'm gonna cut.
Do we really put them back?
My own cards up. I did. I 100%
okay,
did.
Fair.
Right? Like my story from pretty early was horrendous, and I was like,
so was mine. I feel
fuck all those cards, like, you know what I mean? And I don't talk about it very often because I refuse for that to like be that piece of my day now. It doesn't mean it didn't exist. It does not mean that it didn't like build my personality to who I am. 100% it did. But at what point are you like,
I feel like it was much cards. Like Daz said, you hit a point of where you hit that point in life where you either make it or break it. You either become the best you or the worst you. I feel that's very circumstantial to individual people though. Like it depends on what your journey is.
I kind of disagree. I feel like your journey is like whatever you it is what you say it is. The same way that like everybody, obviously, depending on like what kind of alternative medicine you're into, right? Everyone has different references. But I truly believe that what I believe is what is happening. And not because it's right or wrong, but because it's just every fiber of my being.
We were talking about this,
me, but it is true to me because it's mine.
Synchronicity, right? It goes back to our conversation about synchronicity. How could we all be on the same alignment if that wasn't the case? If there wasn't some sort of solid connection that's there all the time, whether we see it or not.
But synchronicity isn't because we both have the same day today. Synchronicity is because like my thing crossed paths.
No, I mean I'm talking about spiritual synchronicity too, though.
It's just as simple as us being alive in the same place at the same
coincidence
time and having similar experiences.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's not because we like had the same day. It's because like this and this did this, not this. Does that make sense? Like,
and we'll never have.
It makes total sense.
Even spending the day together, I don't know.
Totally.
I don't know what the next person's thinking ever, and to think that I do is crazy. But I know.
Well, and that's why I kind of laugh at the psychic, because the psychic just knows how to read body language really good, and that's why they're able to do what they do.
But so do DJs.
It's not a magic skill. It's not a magic skill. It's knowing humans. and their
I
don't
actions to
know.
certain things.
Do you think that artists are the same way, right? You guys got to be able to do that to be on stage and like read the room and to like orchestrate it through your music, right? It's the same in my opinion. I mean, I talked about this yesterday on the show. My guest was saying that you really have to be a bit of a therapist, or at least be in tune with your star player and comfortable in yourself, that you can rely on other people's social cues to navigate the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, but also part of being an artist is not giving a fuck about the social cues. You set the social cues in that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
how
are
do
the
you,
social
so
cues,
how do
yeah.
you, I am the social cue, you know, like, but yeah, and that's a fine line. It can go terrible, and it can go, and then like we have stuff like shit being acceptable then and not being acceptable now, and I don't know.
It's everything, right? Like, how hard do we go
Bob
back? I mean,
Dylan said it best. The times are changing.
Yeah,
that's
somebody.
the most consistent and inconsistent thing I've ever heard in my life. Like
Because
you know
some
what I
shit
mean?
don't change.
At all.
Music don't change. I mean, it grows, but it doesn't change.
Yo,
Yeah.
there's self-made problems. I don't know. It's so look. I've never been bad-spirited. I've never wanted problems for nobody.
No.
And I guess I'm thinking about what you were saying, right? But like, I'm a felon. I got expelled from school. I have faced so much rejection, like
Right.
just trying to like find my place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, or stand up for myself and find my place. And so
But you don't lead with that though. Do you know what I mean? Like you do all
no,
those
but it
things
sucks because
are
then
just
people think.
there.
But even the story I've told today has been so wild because, like, it was kind of like I didn't even think homeless people really existed, or if they did, that there was. It's kind of like, you know, like, yeah, homeless. We have this idea that, like, oh, you see a handicap sign, you think somebody in a wheelchair is coming. Well, it
Right. Yeah.
could be a sprained fucking. It could be the smallest thing.
They're taking up 3 parking spots for like a split. Right. Yeah. I
They
hear what you're saying.
qualify.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
qualify.
Well, the margin is large. You know.
And for so many things, the margin is large.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, like, yeah, I don't try to lead with trauma, but like, it's almost like an avoidance mechanism.
Yep.
As well. And then it leads you to not face it and be like, okay, that was a trigger, blah, blah, blah. You're just blowing up. And literally, like, I felt really, really dumb on my perception of everything until I felt like just marriage made me face reality in a way.
Is
It's
that
the
because you
most.
have to be like considerate of
Yes.
and like aware of like what?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, I understand that, right? Because it can be really challenging. Like when I mean, I'm a selfish person, and I don't mean that to be like a negative thing, but when, yeah, I mean, it's being looking for the social cues or being the social cue. When you're that
Well,
sure of yourself, then nothing else is then you're not affected by what's happening until
exactly.
you live near somebody who
Well,
is
and listen.
also 100%, right? It's not like I'm 50% and they're 50% and we're 100. No. It's like when like I'm 100% and you're 100% and we are near each other. Man, is that an enlightening place to be in your life? Because you really have to be aware of like what is comfortable and what's uncomfortable for them. And I
It's
mean,
well,
if
and it's
everybody had that experience, maybe a better world. But is worrying about the whole world necessarily what's going to be like healthy for me? I'm not so sure of that.
no, it's not going to
Starts
be
with
what's
one.
well, and that's where we're getting to, and we're in a weird space in the world where
Yeah.
like they're making everything too sensitive, and like it's like, bro, like I know how I feel about things at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like. I like, but also I was one of the people like that hated the Confederate flag.
Mhm.
When people would be like, "Shut up, don't worry," like, why you feel that way about that? Like, you know,
But
like, well, I'd be like, why are there all these Confederate fucking statues? Like, and to the point where I just accepted them as history, and
yeah.
then we come and they're tearing them down, changing names, and I'm like,
Mhm. Whoa,
damn,
wait a
do we have to
second.
change the names? Yeah.
That's what I'm. This is exactly what I mean. Like,
But like
is it?
also to make a point though, right? Like how do we because it's dang near impossible, right? But like even like being single and
Mhm.
having a friend in a situation that isn't or that has problems and you're like, girl, I would have been left his ass. Like
Yeah.
but my dog, I would have left that bitch on the side of this whatever kind of
Mhm.
ignorant perspective,
Mhm.
you know, you're not in that situation and
So why
it's
make it
so easy.
yours?
Well, but it's so easy to talk about how easy it is to handle it.
But it's the same
Goes
exactly when you. It's like,
goes
but it's the, sorry. Go
goes
ahead.
back
Go
to
ahead.
Daz. It goes back to Daz mentioning a lot of people don't walk the walk and walk the talk. They just walk the walk and pretend.
But
You
if
know,
all you talk about is how sensitive everybody is, then that is literally consuming your whole day
yeah.
instead of
Well,
not being
I
concerned
just,
about
but
how everybody is sensitive. Like, who
but
cares?
people don't like. Okay, so like now, okay, here's me, right?
Yeah.
Not, not. I've made that one picture with Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the picture, Kalisha?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Right. Now,
It was.
mind you,
It was funny.
no, like, but and I also make myself
But
part
that's
of
why
the.
it was funny.
I make myself part of the joke
Yeah.
as well, right?
Mhm.
Like, so I'm part of the joke as well. A lot of people are subconsciously avoiding making themselves part of the joke
Yeah.
when they joke about Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll happily share a meme that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I still got a lot of flack for it, right? Now, mind you, I never post anything really down talking another artist
Yeah.
unless I know them directly, unless they're gonna hear the words out my mouth. If
Mhm.
I will have waited, I would have tried private communication, all the above,
Mhm.
all that kind of shit. I don't sit there talk about celebrities on my page. I'm making content. We're
Yeah.
making documentaries, albums, other niggas' albums,
Mhm.
singles, other people's podcasts, everything, whatever of our own about
Mhm.
ourselves
Mhm.
and the people we know,
Yeah.
right? And the algorithm,
Is like gone. Take this. Listen.
Shits.
mind you, people
Tell me
still
how you
show.
get I got a copyright infringement on my own stuff. Like
I got that.
my cousin's cut straight from JA. My cousin, who was like
Yeah,
all the permissions in the world. They were like gone. Like,
yeah,
how
no,
do you
bro, I
even
get
know
flagged. I get flagged
whose
for my
music that
own
was?
songs,
Like,
and it says Warner Bros. Flagged my song.
but how
When
can
the fuck did I sign with Warner Bros?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Reba,
Do
why
you
does
deal with
Warner
this,
Bros
Jason,
say
on
that
do
my
you deal with this
music
on
is flagged?
CNC?
Why does Warner Bros say that? Warner Bros owns DistroKid. Because if they do,
Where's the
that's
check?
suspicious as fuck. So you're telling me Warner Bros. Is its own label and owns everybody else's music too? But anyways, besides that point,
Moving on. Sorry, I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Hey man, that was good fucking convo. You guys feed well off each other.
No, I mean, bro, you're so funny, Jason. But
I was immersed.
no.
Not gonna lie.
Jason, you're easily immersed. You know, but like it goes against the grain, right? But and not that I don't get obviously I get likes and like you done fucked your hair all the way up.
Listen, don't worry about me. It's out of control.
But so
I don't know. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions they want to bounce off
but
me?
being creative.
Yeah, I do actually, and I asked you a question, and you
I didn't get
say
to
nothing.
finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
Sorry, brother.
But being creative is not what I'm supposed to do, and that's crazy about how social media works. It actually, I have to work twice as hard for the fact that I'm not a bot or a follower in what
I feel that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the origin story of CMC was thought of taking a shit on the toilet. I'll be honest. Never did I thought it would grow to what it's grown to be, and it's a huge honor on that point.
Yeah, Kalisha, I'm about to get up out of here.
You're gonna say that. I knew that was coming next. I knew that was coming next. I was literally digging so hard for a transition for you because I was like, I know what's coming next. I know what's coming next. That's hilarious. Dad, thanks for rolling in, honestly, sweetheart. I appreciate it, obviously. You are,
bro.
I had to show Jason some love.
Are already,
Thank you.
I'm happy to be a part of your dream.
Yeah.
That's gonna be forever stuck in his head. Watch.
No, it's
locked in.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this about that before.
Breathe, bro. Breathe.
I'm gonna say this, right? Never mind.
No.
I'm not.
Okay, you can't just do that. Come on, now we're all like, what the fuck was he gonna say?
Look, that's not a shocking concept. What you just said.
What, that I thought of CMC while taking this shit?
How do you think all of our companies started?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
so,
where do you have the most time and open mental space? I don't know. It's literally like the foundation of every big business.
The true man cave.
Welcome to the club. I guess I don't know.
Nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing.
Well, but it's true. But it is like just out of like process of elimination. Like
I don't have that filter. Sorry.
You don't have to have a filter, honey. That's what we're saying. Like.
Yeah,
I know.
We all probably already know stuff like that happens. But all right.
Take care, honey.
Anyway, Kalisha, your question.
I almost pulled you. Oh, bye. Thanks, Daz.
Oh.
What? My question? He's gone.
Yes.
My question is like, do you deal with that kind of stuff? But you know what? I got other questions for you if you want.
Shoot.
No, I'm just playing. No, my question was like, what is like, do you deal with that kind of stuff? Because having a group that's all about other people's content and then you get to slip your own stuff in there, like, do you deal with that kind of stuff in the algorithm at all?
All the time.
Yeah.
SoundCloud has flagged me for a song that I literally just sat there 20 minutes before and created on my phone.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
From bit to bit with no other people's content whatsoever.
Yeah. It is really frustrating. Okay, well, let's go back to this project before we wrap this up, because I do have to get out and finish my day. Like Dad was saying earlier, the horses.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about that. So go on. It's all on you.
No. Tell me more about the project that you were talking about. We can highlight that real quick before
Oh,
we go.
Brienne's project. So she literally
Oh.
was just pitching this concept to me.
No,
Was that
no.
the one you were talking?
No, the one that you were saying. You said that you're
Oh, we have a female that is currently, once I invest $200, she's already got. I'm gonna be doing my first ever song with a female vocal lead.
oh,
I've
okay,
finally been.
okay.
This has been one of my dreams, is to support female artists and get artists, female artists out on my tracks
Mm-hmm. Very
and
cool.
showcase their talent on one of my songs. So I'm looking at investing some cash into that, and she wants to do more than one. So I'm like, all right, let me invest money into you first, and we will go from there.
What draw you to that artist?
She messaged me
Oh,
because
sweet.
I showed her CMC, and she was
Mhm.
like, wow, what you're doing is impacting a lot of people all over the
Yeah.
world. And I'm like, yeah, that was the goal, and the just connection hit.
Yeah. All right, that's really cool. Yeah, no, I was curious because I was wondering what was happening with like CMC next. Like, obviously your platform's growing. You're 4 followers away
Uh,
from being at 1,000.
I'm looking to start getting focused on our Discord channel, because that's going to open up the Discord instrument and merch market, which is sitting in the background right now. It's going to be very similar to Facebook Market, but it's going to be for merch, band merch, and graphic art design. And like, if you have instruments you want to sell or trade, you can come online and use us to do that safely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool.
Uh, Otherwise, I'm trying to get in some solid collabs this year with some good artists, get my hip hop persona started.
That's really exciting.
Eventually the Dead City, or sorry, the CMC label is going to be a not for profit, and it's going to pay to help fund music theory lessons for underprivileged youth. That was the long term goal for CMC Music.
That's
It's
awesome. So
looking to be
similar
a
to what
not
we're
for
doing
profit.
here. Yep.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is it like so up here in Canada, you have to have like 2 years worth of like volunteer time basically
I
to
got
be
a
qualified as a
whole
nonprofit? Is it similar down
I
there?
have a whole youth of volunteer work to go on. So yes, it is. But I got lucky because I spent a lot of my time homeless doing volunteer work for like the shelters and various things, the
Oh, okay,
soup
okay.
kitchens.
No, no. I mean, like as a registered company up here, like so from the day that you register, to be certified as a nonprofit, you like because it puts you into like a different
Oh,
tax space.
tax bracket. Yeah. No, I haven't done that yet.
Mm.
So right now everything's on the fringe, and it's just being able to do it, get it going forward. Um, I have my whole board of directors already laid out.
Very cool. Yeah, it's really
Uh,
that's probably one of the hardest parts, right? Is to get people around you that you can like trust, especially when it comes to like funds being transparent. I got
One of
really
the perks of
lucky.
running a music network was I got to draw directly from that for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because Carmela O'Brien, she's out in the States. She's our head of our little collective, and she was the one that started pitching these business plans. And she's like, "You got to think about this. This is a business."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is.
And she's one of the admins of CMC.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's been a crazy year. We're almost at 1K members.
Congratulations. Having a marketplace where people can come and get like instruments and writing material or like hookups for venues and stuff, it's so fundamental. It's something that we deal with on the regular here. We try and make sure that we have like a bit of a fund for people who need it. But yeah, once you
That
get
is
like
why
that.
I want to grow it. That is why I want to grow it into its own website eventually too. There's talk about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very cool. Well, that's all really exciting. It doesn't take much to do a website though. I mean, honestly, Canva has them like and then you can put uh like a purchase. I think it's an extra couple of bucks a month or whatever, and then you have like a purchase area where people can come buy merch and then also like, if people want to sell their instruments in that space. So you'd be able to like throw a picture, like Marketplace on Facebook, but you could totally do it on a web page. It's actually, it's not as crazy as you think, to be honest.
Good to know. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, I can send you the links and help you with it or whatever. It's not it's not a big deal. Or it
apologize
is a big deal.
for the
connection. Say that it's not, but what's that?
Apologize for the connection issues earlier. That was a bit of a pain in the butt.
It's okay. No, it's all good. It's life. Like, life happens. We're rolling through it. This was a casual conversation, anyways, man. We're just here to celebrate your birthday, so there's no pressure. Like,
yeah, you guys rock. That was awesome.
I'm so glad you had a good time. But I'm gonna wrap this up and send you on your way to go and finish your celebrations for your afternoon. Oh my God. Frick. Right. You're surprised. So Gibson from Gibson's Glass Blowing, Campbell River, British Columbia. He holds the record for the largest blown bong in the world. He's amazing. He has a custom piece of glass for you to do whatever you want, vase, whatever. It's inspired by CMC. And yeah, so that was your happy birthday.
Woo! Awesome. I look forward to that.
So once we get out of here, I need your address and we'll make sure that is on its way. So that's a gift from Pinecase. All of us here to you. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. The emotions finally caught up with me today. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
That was a definite surprise. You guys will be getting pictures. Don't worry. As long as they don't flag me on face crack.
No, we want to support you on the journey that you're on, and obviously medicinals is definitely one of those things. And how cool to be able to have like a local Canadian artist who's got an amazing reputation and history in British Columbia, and it didn't take much convincing to have that conversation. So a little bit of community, everyone band together, and wanted to make sure that you have something special on your birthday.
Don't, you're gonna make me cry. Damn. And this whole journey being able to open up, as I was saying in the live earlier, I was talking to Brandon yesterday about it's therapeutic in its own right to be after holding it in my whole life, to be able to finally put even the darker side out and people finally get to know the truth of it. It's powerful.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I took the chance to message you all that time now. Like,
and let it be part of your healing journey. Honestly, being transparent is such an important part of our growth and our healing. And
I will ask.
You can tuck it behind. What?
Do you have a way to get in touch with Buddy? Because glass blowing has always been a fascination of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He actually offers lessons. He's got a beautiful storefront. He's actually on TripAdvisory Campbell River for anybody that wants to go check him out. His name is Gibson. Gibson.
Oh, he's an island boy. Okay.
He's an island boy. He is so fantastic. Yeah, he's also been on the show, actually. He came on here and we had a beautiful conversation about like getting the youth involved and some great initiatives to make sure that kids are being crafty instead of, whatever.
Doing hooligan shit.
Yeah. So great guy, great company, wicked artist. He's been around since as long as I can remember. He's had his artwork in shops. I mean, I've walked into just random shops and seen his artwork. He's
I'm really excited to see what that bong looks like. That's a crazy, wow.
Yeah.
Glass blowing is not a cheap art either, so I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks and getting that package. That's fucking
absolutely.
wicked.
Well, on that note, everybody that's out there, thank you so much for tuning in and joining myself and Dad on his birthday celebration. Thank you, Dads, for checking us out. I appreciate it.
Quick before you leave, if there's any projects you ever want to bring me in on with Pinecase, I'd be more than honored.
Of course.
Be awesome.
No, absolutely. But you already know this.
Yep.
No, we got mad love for you around here. All right, you guys. Well, everybody out there, I guess it's, man, what day is it today? It's Saturday. So you guys stay safe out there. And yeah. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a great night.